I spent an entire week using Apple's entry-level slash budget iPhone, the iPhone 16e, as an iPhone 16 Pro user, and here are my thoughts. I know the $600 price tag on this phone was very off-putting to many people, but I'm going to go out and say it. I don't think it's that bad for this phone, and here's why. Starting with the camera, you get a 48 megapixel Fusion camera, which is virtually the exact same camera that is in the iPhone 16 Pro, and a 2x telephoto lens that allows you to zoom in and out up to 2 times without it decreasing the quality of the photo. One of the things you don't get is that third lens that allows you to take ultra wide and macro shots, but let's be real, how many of us are actually using that lens? You also don't get the camera control button like you do on the iPhone 16 Pro. What's still included are different modes like time-lapse, slow-mo, video, photo, portrait, and panoramic, which is honestly more than enough for the average consumer. Most people don't need the cinematic or the spatial photos, whatever that even does. All that to say that the camera on this phone is actually very good. Something else that they also included on this phone was the action button. If you're coming from another device that isn't an iPhone, whether it's an Android, a Google Pixel, or any other phone, the action button is literally a button that you can remap to basically do whatever you need it to do. But be honest with me, has anyone changed to do anything that isn't unmuting and muting the phone? And one of the biggest reasons that I think this phone is $599 and not $499 is, you guessed it, Apple Intelligence, their version of AI. And don't get me wrong, I am not an Apple Intelligence hater. Okay, maybe a little bit, but I can just never get it to work for me. Let's try it really quick. Hey, how are you? Why isn't it talking? Does it have to be unmuted? Hold on. All right, that's too much for me to figure out. One thing Apple Intelligence does bring though is visual intelligence. It's basically using the camera to figure out what an item is, where you can buy it, and just get a whole bunch of information about an item that you have no idea about. All you do is open up the visual intelligence camera, take a picture of said item, it'll scan it, you hit search, and you get information about this tiny little potato. And finally, what I think the best part of this phone is right now is the fact that the battery life on this will easily last you a little more than an entire day. I used this for a day and a half and did not need to charge it until the afternoon the following day. This phone technically has a bigger battery than the iPhone 16 Pro and easily lasts longer than my iPhone 16 Pro. I'm assuming because there's no MagSafe on this phone, they were able to squeeze in a battery a tiny bit bigger. I've seen other content creators say that this phone is a waste, like no one should be buying this phone, but I completely disagree. I think for the price and for it not being marketed as the best of the best, this is not a bad phone. Yes, you could go out and buy yourself a used or refurbished iPhone 15, 15 Pro for around the same price or maybe even a tad bit less, but many people want that feeling of a brand new phone, of opening it. And most people who need just a basic phone to get by in life, this would be it. Anyway, did I make a mistake spending $600 on this phone? To be honest, I don't think so.